Yes.
Coach Smith, let me ask you something. You know, when you came in and evaluated this group of guys, what was the biggest area that you wanted to improve upon in terms of their physical condition?
Well, I mean, strength was number one. You know, we realized that we had to get stronger. The size, you know, we had to bulk up pretty quickly. I think our functional movement, the mobility aspect of just being able to get in a football position needed to improve. But even more than physically, the mental aspect of the toughness and the culture was the main priority basically over everything. But I would say strength-wise, we needed to improve.
How much of what you've done so far with this team has just been kind of wholly focused on getting the team better versus like individual plans for progress and development?
Well, you got to start out with just the basics, the fundamentals. You know, whenever you're trying to start a successful program, you know, you got to start from the bottom. And it was just really just showing them our core values, showing them our culture, and because the culture makes the place successful. So I had a bunch of team lifts, a bunch of team runs. Whenever you can do hard training and make it effective, you know, it can bring the guys together. But it was just trying to show them how to be detailed in everything. It was trying to make them aware of how accountable, what it really means to be accountable, and then their passion and relentless, and then finish that with toughness. Everybody thinks we just say DART just to say it, just to sound good, but it's a life that we really live and really had to install into our players because, you know, the road to winning is very hard. You know, it's tough, it's rough. For some reason, everybody thinks it's celebration and just standing on top of the mountain, but it's a hard road to go on. And so these guys had to buy into that. But are you committed? Can we trust you? Do you care about it? So putting them all together in bigger groups, you know, making them go through things together, helping them out, bringing them together. We saw a big improvement with that. We're just not so much individually, but the team, they got to love each other. So we had to put them in situations where they do that.
You talked about the mental aspect of, you know, physical health. With physical health, you guys are lifting, you guys are running. What are the types of exercises that you are kind of giving these guys to work on their mental toughness?
Well, you know, I believe in high intensity, you know, time under tension. You know, we're a mixed methodology program, whether it's Olympic lifts, powerlifting, high intensity. You know, whatever tool we can use is going to improve for us. That's what we're going to do. But high intensity, you know, when you tell somebody that they have to do 50 reps of a trap bar deadlift, you know, I mean, that's, you got to have your mind right, you know, and you're going to find out if you're committed real quickly. But the whole aspect, like mental toughness, like for us, it's like, can you take any physical, mental, emotional pain and use it as a powerful tool to overcome your breaking point? So we have to take them to that point. And a lot of guys are scared to do that. A lot of coaches are afraid to train their players, but we can't do that because you can't find out who somebody is until you put them in a hard situation. And so when we create these lifts that are high intense, you know, we have to figure out, you know, okay, is it safe enough? So we do them as a staff. We do the lifts to make sure, because obviously safety's first. But again, hard and effective, you get to see their why. And that's the big deal with us, is what's your why? And if you can build that relationship with the guys in these lifts, you know, personally outside the lifts, so when they hit that wall, you remind them of what they said and how bad they want something. You'd be surprised how fast they can crush through that wall.
Do you see any players in the weight room that are kind of, you know, being those leaders that are lifting other guys up when, you know, it does get tough and they might want to quit, you know, during a lift?
Yeah, I mean, you know, at first it was tough for everybody, you know, because you got to show them how to work, and then you got to explain how to like really trust your mind to get your why. But you know, Diggs, big time, you know, Kyle McCord, Quinn Allen, you know, when they see other people, because you got to take care of your backyard first before you can help the man next to you take care of his. So those guys kind of, you know, figured it out pretty quickly, and then they were allowed to influence others. And that's why we do hard training, because like it brings guys together. And then pain doesn't care the color of your skin, doesn't care where you're from, you know, what city you're from, you know, but it can bring the oddest groups of people together. So when guys start sharing their pain and their why, when they're in those lifts and those hard times, like we believe in the dark times, like they'll make it great if you use it the right way. And a few of those guys really helped our team understand who they were inside. We came together and did a lot of great things.
How have you seen the work in the weight room over the winter translate to what you've seen here on the field on the first day of spring practice?
Well, I mean, our tempo's fast, you know, really in everything that we do. And so it starts with us. You know, now obviously the first couple of weeks it was slow, but you saw the buy-in really quickly. You know, no one just, you know, took it easy. Everybody was like, okay, this is what we're gonna have to do, because in there, our tempo is very fast. We lift heavy weight, but we do it very fast. Like, we run to every station in here, or we run to every station in the weight room. Even our conditioning is all geared up to where it's a fast tempo. You don't get a lot of rest. You know, and I mean, we keep it in the parameters of being safe, but if we can get them used to this tempo and the speed of how practice is going to be in the weight room, you see it translate. Like today, I thought the guys, you know, that the effort didn't drop. You know, I mean, we got to get a lot better, but it went smoothly because of what we've been doing, just conditioning, workouts, mat drills. You know, those things all add up to make sure they're ready to go for a day like today.
And how important has been the focus of nutrition and lifestyle changes outside of the weight room and outside of the field?
Well, it's a high priority. I mean, a lot of these guys just come in and they think, you know, I'm just going to use my physical ability and just go out there and just play. But when you're at a high level, you know, in the ACC and you're trying to compete for championships, nutrition is a vital aspect of our program. And so it's, again, building relationships with guys. You have to interact with them in order to influence them. And so when we talk about our body fat, you know, our lean body mass, our weight goals, you know, like the O-linemen, you know, they probably did the best from when we started to where we are, all making their weekly goals. Every Friday they got to make a weight. You know, they have to make a certain body fat. They have to get to a certain lean body mass. You can't do that if nutrition isn't a priority. And with our training table and the snacks and the supplements that we have, we've seen a lot of difference. Guys gaining 10, 15 pounds, guys losing 10, 15 pounds, losing 5% body fat. So it's not where we want to be yet, but we're heading in the right direction.
Take one more for Coach before we get to the rest of the staff.
What's your process for setting those goals that you just mentioned, and maybe who all is involved in that process?
Well, everybody comes through an assessment, you know, and you get your physical measures, you know, your body fat, arm, wingspan, you know, but then we go into strength measurements, you know, power development, you know, we test functional range conditioning, see how their mobility is. So they come in and they go through, you know, before pictures. So there's a lot of assessments that we do, and obviously great communication with the training staff, with the nutritionist. So it's a lot of hands that are in that pot, but it has to be because there's so many different categories that we have to look at. But everybody's just goes through a full exam to see what they need. You know, if we can identify things before they happen, we're going to be in a better place, especially when it comes to August.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys.